Welcome to the Explainer. I am incredibly thrilled you're here today. You know, if you've ever stared at ancient Greek and thought, wow, that looks like an impenetrable secret code, well, I have some absolutely fantastic news for you. It's actually incredibly accessible. Today, we're taking your very first steps into this beautiful classical language. We're starting from absolute scratch as complete beginners, but I promise you, by the time we finish this short explainer, you will actually be reading and speaking ancient Greek words. Okay, let's dive right in.
Section 1. English Roots, Greek Origins.
You might feel like you're starting from absolute zero right now, but honestly, you actually have a massive head start. Believe it or not, an estimated 12,000 of our common English words come directly from Greek. So I really want to ask you, do you realize you already speak Greek? You literally use its vocabulary every single day without even realizing it. Let me prove it to you.
Have you ever stopped to wonder why we actually call our letters an alphabet? It's not just a random word. It literally comes from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, alpha and beta. You put them together, and boom, you have alphabet. So see, you already know the first two letters of Greek just by knowing English. And here's another fun little etymology trick for you. You've probably heard of the Greek letters omicron and omega, right? Well, in Greek, omicron means small, and mega means big. So omicron is quite literally the small o, kind of like a microscope for looking at really small things, and omega is the big O, just like a megaphone for making a really big sound. You intuitively understand these concepts already.
Section 2. Meet the Greek alphabet.
We're going to start by building a rock-solid foundation today with just our first four letters. We've got alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. Now take a look at the uppercase versions. They look pretty familiar, right? Very close to our English capital letters. The lowercase versions are just a little bit more stylized. We're going to focus purely on these four today to keep things super simple and manageable.
Now, the absolutely crucial thing here is getting the sounds right. Let's look at alpha first. Ancient Greek vowels had distinct quantities, which basically just means they were either held out for a long time or spoken pretty quickly. So a long alpha sounds like the A in father, and a short alpha sounds like the A in about. It's just a nice open, relaxed sound.
Skipping ahead just a bit to the fourth letter, we have delta, which makes a hard D sound. And this one actually comes with a brilliant built-in memory aid. Notice how the capital delta is shaped exactly like a triangle? Well, think about geography. When a river meets the sea and splits into that distinct triangle shape, we call it a river delta, which is named perfectly after this exact Greek letter. Pretty cool, right?
Section 3. Ancient versus modern sounds.
Now, before we actually start reading words together, we need to take a really quick historical journey, because language is a living, breathing thing. If you travel to Greece today, the language is going to sound quite a bit different from the era of Socrates or Homer. In this explainer, we're using what's called the ancient reconstructed pronunciation. It's often called Erasmian, named after the 16th century scholar Erasmus, who helped piece it all back together. And this is going to sound different from the Byzantine or modern pronunciation that they use in Greece today.
The letter beta is actually a perfect example of this. In classical ancient Greek, it was a hard B sound, a voiced stop. But over time, as we moved into the Hellenistic and Byzantine periods, that sound softened into what linguists call a fricative. So in modern Greek, beta is actually pronounced with a V sound, like vita. But for our purposes here, we're going to stick to the hard classical B.
There's also another major shift called ioticism. Basically, over the centuries, a whole bunch of different ancient vowel sounds all kind of merged together into a single E sound in modern Greek, which honestly makes modern spelling a bit tricky. But don't worry, by sticking to our ancient Erasmian pronunciation, we actually get to use a much simpler phonetic rulebook. What you see on the page is exactly what you say.
Section 4. Speak your first words. All right, it is time for a little interactive workshop. So sit up straight, clear your throat, and get ready to actually speak out loud with me. Ready? Here's our first word, and we're going to take it step by step. The first syllable is gos. Say it with me. Gos. Now the second syllable is mos. Try it. Mos. Put it all together. Gosmos. Cosmos. In ancient Greek, this meant an ornament or order, and it later came to mean the ordered universe. Guys, you just read ancient Greek. Okay, let's do another one. First syllable is crow. You try it. The second syllable is nos. Say it out loud. Put them together and you get chronos. Chronos. This is the ancient Greek word for time, and it is exactly where we get English words like chronological or chronic.
And our final word for today. Let's break it down again. First part, lo. Second part, gos. Together, logos. Logos means word, speech, or reason. It's the root of the word logic, and it's the suffix ology in basically all of our sciences. Fantastic job! You are actively vocalizing classical Greek right now, and you're doing it with total confidence.
Section 5, Summary and Next Steps.
Let's just take a quick deep breath and look at how much tangible progress you've made in just a handful of minutes. You literally went from a blank slate to actually pronouncing classical vocabulary. We mastered 4 foundational letters: alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. We learned the crucial difference between the ancient Erasmian pronunciation that we're using and the modern Byzantine one. And you successfully read 3 monumental vocabulary words: cosmos, chronos, and logos.
Now that you've got a little taste of the alphabet, you're ready for the actual machinery of the language. Coming up in Lesson 2, we're going to tackle basic noun endings and how to use grammatical cases. Specifically, we'll be looking at the third declension. I know that sounds super technical, but I promise we'll break it down just like we did today, step by step. Today you read cosmos, chronos, and logos. You've officially taken that first step, so I want you to ask yourself, if you can read those words today, what ancient, history-altering text will you be reading tomorrow? The philosophies of Plato, the epics of Homer? The door is now officially open for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see you in Lesson 2.